Today, I'm going to be talking about what I thought of some of the adios techniques that I learned from my English class. It was bursting chapter, where I had to learn how to basically learning about how to put my audience's guards down, We are humans. At the end of the day, if we if we disagree with something, we tend to be less willingly to read about this. Or if it's not interesting, I'm not going to read about it. So it's really important to use those techniques, starting with devil's advice. So let's say I'm going to be really specific here. So my claim is that landfill should be used. And my counterclaim is saying, no, landfill shouldn't be used. But devil's advice is exactly me pretending to be on the side of landfill shouldn't be used, right? I'm just going to approach in a way that I'm advocating what I don't advocate for, right? I'm just going to say something like, first, it's good to get rid of all the orders, send trashes away to other people. It is really good to get rid of landfill. I'm going to say something like that. And then at the end, I'm going to present my opinion at the end, basically. I'm just going to give them, spoon feed them what they want to hear in the first place. But I still think that landfill is a better solution than doing that. Because sending the trashes into other communities is not different than burdening on other people. Let's think about this. If we if we import the trashes that we produced to other countries or third world countries, we're not fixing the problem. Instead, we're basically shifting our problem to other communities. Basically, we're just paying them money so that our public health gets better. Because if we have less trash, the smell is gonna better. Our community is gonna smell better. But instead, we're just selling. No, we're just giving. We're just transferring this smelly, gross trashes to other communities. So they're basically getting paid for their decreased public health. So devil's advice is giving the opposite of what I want to say, essentially. Devil's advice was one of it. I think it's really ridiculous. I mean, it's a great way to get their guards down. I think it's great. Devil's advice. I think we watched a video about problem solving song. I'm going to include all the videos that I watched in class, but here it is. The the artist or the singer start by saying you should kill yourself. If you have a lot of concerns and if you have a lot of stuff in your mind, you just gotta kill yourself. It's not gonna be painful. It's not that deep. It's not a big of a deal. You just have to do. He says it so dramatically. And then after he's saying, no, you really shouldn't do it. You should talk to professionals in therapy and someone who can take care of you. You shouldn't really kill yourself. And the reason why he stated his opinion after saying something that is so far away from his initial intention is because he wanted to make it dramatic, essentially. I think that was a great way to do a devil's what is it called? Devil's advice. Basically, I am giving them a bad advice, like a devil. That sounds tempting in a short term, right? But I'm going to say something that I will think in deeper way. Okay, we're moving on to mocking section. Mocking. Let's see, the mocking. Trying to find the mocking. Mocking is basically a poking someone playfully. It is so difficult because you have to find a balance between a good amount of humor and good amount of logic. If you only have mocking, it's gonna sound like you're going to you just it's just gonna make you sound like you want to embarrass someone without no logic. You actually That's why you actually need logic because the mocking gets better. Mocking's effect get amplified when it's merging with other stuff. 엄마도 있어. Mocking, so that's why. And mocking is really good when some people who are in high status, if they are kind of rigid or cocky about their status and putting themselves above the criticism, it's really good to do it because it kind of we're just making fun of them, you know? We're just making fun of their thing. And Trojan horse is one of the hardest thing. Actually, before I get into this stuff, I have to talk about the mocking stuff when one guy that I watched from the video mocks some people who are country music singers who are fake, who care about their money, fame, but never care about their fans, and they don't even have authenticity. Like, for example, here's a one example: walking and talking like a field hand, but the boots that I'm wearing cost 3 grand, which is kind of funny because his main audience is actually not upper class, but he's pretending that he's one of his audiences, but he never is just like his audience. He never wants to do some hard works that working class people do, and they want to make a they he says something along the lines of he says something along the lines of he would make money from the audiences, his targeted audiences, but he will never do the job that his audiences have to do. And one another example is I own a private ranch I never use, which is that is a fake, basically. And I want to say something like this. He kind of reminded me of a fake rappers who claimed that they were from the bottom. They started from the bottom, even though they have stable family. They went to college without having to pay, having going to a debt and having to and driving Porsche even though they don't have driver's license and stuff like that. So that I see the parallel in there. And lastly, what is it? Mocking welcome to the internet. Like if you really want a satirical way to state your opinion, mocking is a great way. And lastly, I don't know what it's called. It's called the Book of Mormon, baptism and sex. We really used the essence of, I mean, they used the essence of Trojan, what is it called? Can't remember. Trojan horse method, where you present something in a way that is totally not okay. I'm not going to say the word totally, but I'm going to present something that is not what audiences expected to get. For example, it's like literally Trojan War. Greeks send Trojan people a gift, which was a horse, a wooden horse. But in fact, it was not a gift. There were people, soldiers hiding inside of that thing, and then they just popped out from that horse thing and slaughtered a lot of people there as a sudden attack. It's like you are the horse technique is like the definition of unexpectedness. Like the first paragraph, second paragraph, you're reading about something and oh, this is about this. But in third paragraph, oh, wait a minute, this is weird. The first and second paragraph is not talking about what I was thinking about to happen. So that makes sense. And the Book of Mormon, as I said, and they have to have double entendre. Entendre, I think that's how they call it. You want to make readers confused in the beginning, but make it clear at the end. So in this story, they talk about sex and baptism. I never knew that he was going to talk about sex because baptism, he was basically talking about how nervous she was, how excited but vulnerable, and she wanted to do it again, stuff like that. I had no idea that the author really wanted to talk about sex. But looking back, they actually have a lot of connections, right? Baptism and sex, they people are scared of it or excited or vulnerable about it. And sometimes when it's especially first experience, I've never experienced both of them or either of them, but it must be really nervous, nerve-wracking, but or something that's fantasized by other people because there are a lot of medias that's portraying those actions. So I thought it was really interesting. It's not it's a sudden attack basically, It's really funny. I should probably keep in mind that Mr. Lazara told me about he told me about reading one of his students' essays. He thought it was talking about Sharpies, but at the end of the day, it was about penises. So there were a lot of things. Yeah, And I really want to. So Trojan horse technique is really good for mitigating the tension. What I'm saying is that making people less sensitive. When you talk about sensitive stuff, like, for example, like sex, abortion, or religion, or slavery and stuff like something sensitive, you have to get their guards off for a second, you know, so that, oh, what? Because they don't want to read about very sensitive stuff from the beginning. That's why you need to merge, you need to learn how to merge stuff. That was my thing today, and it was great. I hope you guys, I'm not sure who's watching this video, but peace out.